Hey, I hope you're doing well. Just a quick story today about my match that I played last week. It was my first match that I played in 9 months. And lots of different stories I could tell about this match. It was extremely challenging physically. It was a long, hard match. It was 3 sets. I won't spoil, I'll try to spoil as little as possible if you want to watch the video when it comes out and actually kind of experience it. But a big lesson that I learned in this match is we can change, we can improve, we can upgrade and update when it comes to mental toughness. And I will spoil the first set right now. So if you want to watch the first set when it comes out, it's not going to be for a while. But the first, so that's your warning. The first set I was down 2-5, and in the past I've never been a comeback kind of player. I either my my personality as a player competitively in the past has been either I win decisively or I lose decisively. And I've never been the type of player to like hang around and like scrap and like figure out a way back in the match and like make some kind of big dramatic like comeback. Mentally, I was just kind of either like um all in like positive or kind of all in negative in the past for myself, like mentally. And that's not what happened this last week. I was down 2-5, saved a set point at some point coming back, then went to a tiebreaker in which I was down in the tiebreaker and I saved four more set points in the tiebreaker. I don't remember the final tiebreaker score, but it was something like 12-10 or 11-9 or something like that. And so I saved five set points and then won the first set. And I've never done like in over the last several years, I've seen more and more evidence of this happening. Like in my first time coming back to match play a couple years ago, I had this streak of matches where I lost the first set and then won the match. And that had never happened to me before. And now stuff like this, like saving five set points, being down 2-5, being down in the tiebreaker and winning the set. So how was I able to do that? Well, first of all, like takeaway number one for me that I just want to communicate today, and I want to put the message out there is you don't have to remain the same competitive person with the same competitive weaknesses, the same mental blind spots, the same mental like roadblocks in your way. You don't have to remain that same person. You can improve through. So here's, I kind of think the key elements. Number one, awareness. Like, what are my patterns? What do I tend to do that gets in my own way? Like, what are the situations or the scenarios where I tend to trip and stumble, and it might be really obvious and like glaring and apparent, or it might be more subtle, and so it might require some reflection or watching yourself to really know for sure. Thankfully, I've done a lot of that over the years. I've done a lot of watching of myself and a lot of self reflection. It's just kind of a benefit of doing what I do. And then I think the next step is having a really solid understanding of how the mind works in the mental game. And for me personally, that's all about accepting and understanding that thoughts come and go. Like there will be negative thoughts, there will be positive thoughts, but the most important thing is not trying to like control or micromanage those thoughts, but more so redirecting our focus on what really matters, which is the task at hand. What's the tactic? What's the target? What's the pattern that's been working? In other words, like when I stepped up to the line in that match and in that set, I promise you the thought stepped like popped into my head a lot. Like in that first, let's just talk about that first set. Well, like this could be it. Like this could be the last point. And it did happen. I promise you it did happen. But rather, just as a quick tangible example, rather than fixate on that and either tell myself, oh no, I'm unconfident, or oh no, I'm nervous, or oh no, like I'm gonna lose, like oh this is gonna be so terrible. I'm to the point now in my journey, like mentally, where I know that's normal and it's acceptable, totally normal and acceptable, and it's gonna happen. But then saying to myself, okay, so that happened, fine, let's move on. Where do I need to aim this serve? What tactic am I going to use? Am I going to serve and volley? Am I going to just attack the backhand? And then like specifically, what do I need to do that's productive and positive and has like a positive like influence like over the point that's about to happen. And by the way, I still might lose that point, and that's I think kind of the what am I on, three or four, third or fourth like thing is you have for me, I've had to learn how to become more and more and more okay with the idea of losing. If the idea of losing any given match or set or game terrifies you because of, stuff you got going on in your own like psychology or ego, then that's a really tough position to put yourself in, where it's like every match is a must win, and like, oh, I'm a failure. Like if I lose, that's a whole other, ball of wax that you gotta deal with. So you have to be okay with losing, and in terms of it being part of the process, you have to be self-aware about what your roadblocks and like tripping points are, and then you have to practice in the moment, getting good at noticing when thoughts are coming and going, and then refocusing, not taking them too seriously, and then refocusing on the task at hand. What is the specific thing I need to do right now to give myself the best chance? If you can do those things, then you can keep seeing progress mentally. And I'm really happy with the progress that I've seen over the last couple of years. And so I wanted to pass that on. Hopefully something in there resonates with you, gives you some kind of thing to grab onto or something to improve on or focus on yourself, because you don't have to stay where you are. You can get stronger mentally. You can become a better competitor. You can learn how to overcome big challenges and obstacles in the midst of a competitive battle like that. I'm definitely proof. I used to be in a bad spot. A bad spot mentally, years ago. And I feel like I'm to the point now where I'm actually in a very, very positive spot, and it's been a total 180. So you can do it too. Even if you're already in a good spot, you can even get to a better spot than you are now by focusing on the right things. Thanks for watching. Hope you're doing well. And I'll have more updates on this match, I'm sure, in the near future. I'll talk to you again soon.